April 18th, Saturday, about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I've decided to start the privacy fence. So we're gonna do that. First of all, here's the beginning of it, right up against the house, and it's gonna run down to a corner out here, and then run down again along the road till you see that fence, the tree line over there, and it's gonna connect. So it's kind of encapsulate this whole yard. So that's kind of what we're gonna be doing. Okay, so this is after the holes have been dug, so you're not gonna see that. I didn't record it, but here I am setting posts. I can only do about 3 at a time because that's all the lumber I had to kind of create the braces, and I used slow setting concrete. So it took 24 hours to dry. And the reason why I didn't go with the fast setting concrete was price. It was $1.50 cheaper, and I bought about 40 bags. So to me, it made the price worth it. Right there, you see the 2 square posts are, that's the gate I was working on. The rest of these posts are landscape timbers, and I took a little bit of a risk doing such because I'm worried about it rotting prematurely. But the reason why I did it was you're looking at a $2.50 for those landscape timbers and $10 for the square posts. So that's $7.50 for each one, and there's on 40 or so. So girls helping me along the way, they were a blast. It's really cool to have them hang around and ask questions and be involved. Also notice during this thing, Ellie, our dog, is always by my side. I am done with all posts. This is where the gate goes. Now I'm started. We're gonna do the 3 cross pieces, the gate, 3 cross pieces around, and then I'm ready for slats. So. Okay.
Welcome to my show.
Oh, welcome to your show, huh? Okay, so here am I starting on the slats. So I did 3 cross pieces and had a couple of jigs set up, and actually my process changed significantly. The girls are helping squeeze the trigger. Probably the coolest thing about this project was getting them involved and them, wanting to be around, and I just love it. So I'm doing 3 cross pieces, and you notice that on the right it's slanted, on the left it's fairly straight. Well, I'm following the curve of the land. You'll see when I put the slats up how I want the fence to kind of roll or flow with the landscape profile, as opposed to just trying to be straight. So I have strung a line, if you see me going back and forth, and I marked out posts at 5 feet on each one, strung a line and marked the post. So this is me starting on the long stretch. Now that long stretch is 100 feet. The side it was just working on is 60 feet. And then the short side, which connects to a pre-existing chain link fence, is only 40 feet. So by this point, I had started to figure out a process to speed things up. I get even faster probably as I go. I guess that's fairly normal with things. You find shortcuts and you realize you took too much time doing something, and find a faster way to do it. So this is the corner, the short corner, and the rest of the long stretch on the other side of the gate. The holes for the short corner got real interesting. I got an electrical box, I got a bush, I got a bunch of trees. So it's kind of intermediate. So it's like 6 feet and 8 feet as opposed to my standard 7. That's kind of how far apart I was. I drilled some holes in the board and let them practice screwing things in. They really involved in that. Here you see Katie helping me out. She was in and out. She's super busy as a mom, and during this time she's really a lot more busy than I am teaching, and so she could help sometimes and sometimes she couldn't, but whenever she could, it was always a blessing. That bush is quite an issue, me having to crawl around that, because that's that side of that I'm going to put up the slats too. So, and this is me finishing up. I am almost done with all the slats. All those cross pieces. So thus next becomes the slats. So we started in this corner, Katie and I. It was a little slow going at first, trying to figure out our process. One thing I want you to notice is something that's always sliding across the top. I got a 2x10, cut it down to 9 inches, and put nail a stick to it, and that's my spacer. So the top uphill corner of each slat needs to be in line with that, and that's kind of how I keep my profile. You notice here at the end, I'm going to chop down a tree that was in the way, really just a big branch. But this is the next day. I had a couple friends come over to help me out, and this 3-person crew here really flew. One nailed, one held the board in place, and the other one laid out the slats ahead of us. And you can see we're flying. We get it all done in one day. It's pretty cool to have some friends who'd be willing to help, and so that's this is the fastest part. And you see there my nephew Miller, he's helping lay out boards too, and we're just chugging along. All right, let's go. So this is the small gate, and I'm going to make that totally different than the other gate. It's going to be, I made the frame myself, bought the hardware, and I'm going to attach it as well. So there's the frame. I ended up taking out one of the X's because it just was decorative and not structural, and I just wanted to reduce the weight. So here I'm stringing a line between existing slats so that I can follow that profile. When I'm done, you're really going to see it's a dramatic, I did make this on a hill, so that made it very interesting, a little difficult at times too.
What's the puppy your name?
So here I am, putting on the final touches of this small gate, the walk-through gate. Putting on the handle now, and so I'm pretty pleased with this. Overall, you're going to see a little stand-back view of it. Pretty cool. Okay, this is the side gate. The big gate's a 10 foot 5 inches wide, and I bought 2 metal kits for this one. I was worried about the weight of the treated lumber. That stuff, even the 2x4s, is so heavy, especially when it's wet. It usually comes in pretty wet, and so I'm worried about sagging, and so I built these metal frames, and you can see it's drooping right here real bad, but the key is this wire. You go from corner to corner, you can see it there. Keeps it level, and I'm starting on the other one. I finish it off camera. I'll show you a picture of that, but overall it came out fairly well. This is a look at the completed gate with the slats kind of going downhill to follow the rest of the fence. These gates are kept level by these wire turnbuckles. We got one on each gate, and if they get out of line, you just tighten them back up again. I got a little latch on the inside, as well as a drop rod into the ground, a pipe driven in there to keep it secure. So that is the gate. Can't open it from the outside at this point, but maybe that's the way we like it. We'll see. Overall, this is the completed product.